It gives me great delight to welcome back to the airwaves an old friend and now the new coach at Ohio University. Jim Christian joins us. Jim, welcome not only back to our show, but welcome back to the MAC.
Thank you very much. It's obviously great to be back on both. It's been great talking with you again, and I couldn't be more excited to be, back in Ohio and at Ohio University.
Jim's background, of course, well known. So many successful years at Kent State before moving on to Texas Christian, and now back in the MAC with Ohio University. What attracted you to come back, and specifically Ohio University?
I just thought it was just a great opportunity for me. You told, these things are all about timing, as you know, and it was just the right time for me. And when this opportunity presented itself, it was a chance to get my wife back. My wife went to school here, and a chance to get our family back to Ohio. It's a good fit for me, and I think not only for right now, but for years to come. I just feel very comfortable here. There's great people and great support, and at this stage of my life, that's really the most important thing. Is I just want to be in a comfortable, great place that I think we can build something special.
You're stepping into a pressure cooker. All the prognosticators are saying that Ohio should win the MAC this year. Gross did a real nice job. He's moved on. He's doing a great job in Illinois. So right off the bat, you're in the pressure cooker, Coach.
No doubt. Obviously, easier said than done. I mean, I wish it would be that easy, but I knew better coming in, and I knew that, and try to convey that to our team. And I think our team understands that. They understand how good the league is and how close, in comparison, all these teams are, both last year and this year. And I think that what Ohio has done, and they caught fire at the right time, and now we've got to try to gain consistency to try to put ourselves in position to do such things again. But there's great balance and great coaches and great teams in this league. So we know the battles we're going to be in for.
Yeah, and the MAC really does play a very good brand of basketball. And over the years, going back to your Kent State days, the tournament competition and the record has proved that. The MAC is always the MAC representatives are always a dangerous foe. But I know I've had Commissioner Steinbrecher on the show many times. He strives to get as many teams in as possible, and then once you get in, just like the football bowl games, you got to win them.
Yeah, I think that's exactly the formula. I think everybody's trying to strive to do that. And again, I think the best thing the league can do is when teams get there is to represent the league very, very well and show that, that maybe there was one or two other teams in the league, if given the chance, they could have done similar things. And there's no doubt that's the case. As much success as Ohio had last year, Akron won the regular season title, and had they gotten into the tournament, they probably could have caused some noise as well. And as is Kent and the other great programs in the league. So I think, it's just a matter of time. You just got to keep pounding away at the door, and I think that if you continue to have success, it eventually happens.
What a record at home, 31 of 33 victories on your home floor. Let's talk about some of your kids. Start off locally with Reggie Kelly from Cleveland Heights.
Reggie's been a really, really, he leads the nation in field goal percentage right now. He's one of those guys, I think, that it was clear to me, when I first got here, that he was going to be just a huge piece for us because he's our best close to the basket scorer. He wants the ball down there. He loves contact, and he has more versatile game than I think he has shown in the past. He's really worked hard on it. And I think he's a huge key for us. We need him to rebound the basketball a little bit better at this point as we head into MAC play and continue to get in great shape because he's one of those guys that I think we're going to go. He's one of the key pieces. If we're going to do some things, he's going to have a really good MAC senior season.
He's a big kid, 6'9", 240. Does he have a future perhaps in the association?
I would think he'll have an opportunity to play basketball at some level. I mean, those guys, I think everybody gets those cracks, and he's no different. He wants to do it. He's working for it. And again, as the coach, you just want to see them have opportunities to continue playing this game. He without question, I think will have a future in the game of basketball, and a lot of it's going to be determined on him, as is the case with most guys.
Nick Kellogg, the son of Clark, of course, is a 6'3" guard. I had the opportunity to see him at Ohio here prior to you coming back to the MAC, and like his father, he's a special player.
Yeah, he's just a great shooter, works really, really hard. I think this year he's kind of, he's been more aggressive at doing other things on the court. He's become a better guy at taking the ball to the basket. he's got more confidence trying to create a play than maybe he has had in the past. So again, he just recently played a great game against Marshall, where he was a little bit of a shooting slump and fought his way out of it just through sheer hard work. And you want to see those kind of guys have success.
Talk to me about this DJ Cooper. He's from my neck of the woods in Chicago, point guard, and was just named the MAC East Player of the Week.
Well, I think that there's probably he's just set the all-time MAC assist record before he even played a game in the MAC his senior year. I mean, he's just one of those special guys. If there's a guy open on the court, he has a rare quality, not only to see him, but get him the ball at the right time. He's coming off a game of 17 assists. He's had a couple games of 14 assists. And our team in general, we're third in the nation in assists per game. Obviously, he's a big part of that. He's just a special guy. He's one of those, the bigger the game, I think the bigger he plays. And, again, I think it's been that case for a while here, but as he goes, we go.
Walter Offit and Evo Baltic round out your top five. How's your bench?
We're trying to continue to build on those guys. We haven't had the consistent play and different guys who've stepped up and done good things at different times. But I think that's the next step for us, is if we can get, consistent play for the guys coming off the bench, whether it be scoring or defensive rebounding or just energetic plays. I think that, that's kind of the one area I think where we've had a little bit of problems this year, and it's an area that we should be strong in because they are good players and I have a lot of faith in them. But they've got to go out and prove it. And I think that, that's one of the areas, if we're going to make a run, it's going to have to be with those guys developing.
We're going to be televising the game tomorrow night against Buffalo. Tell us about them.
Reggie's done an unbelievable job, since he's been there. He's got a great offensive system that's been copied by a lot of people throughout the country. It's amazing, how many people run the type of system that he's ran for a while and so successfully. And, with McCray inside, he's obviously one of the better big players in the country. And if they get into good rhythms, they're really, really good. And, being the first MAC game, both teams are going to come to compete at a high level. So it's going to be a great test.
Well, certainly you're familiar with the state of Ohio as far as recruiting, but obviously going back to your days at Kent, you just didn't stay within the state boundaries. You got to go outside those boundaries, and you did a great job at Kent, and I know that you're already looking at some of the high school prospects to keep this great program at Ohio going.
Yeah, I missed it not being able to recruit in the Midwest because of the kids here, the high school coaches do such good jobs. They all know how to play. They're the basketball IQs are higher than, I was recruiting in the state of Texas, and there's some great athletes, but the basketball IQ of these guys and the understanding of the games, it's just a different aspect of it. And I missed it because for how we do things, I just think those guys flourish a little bit better. So I'm excited as anybody to get back and, recruit Ohio and all the Midwest.
But it's going to benefit you, Jim, spending the years that you did down at TCU, because now you're familiar with those high school programs and those coaches, so you can dip in and maybe get a kid or two from down there, too.
I hope. I mean, I've been around long enough that I can probably go to a lot of places. It only takes one or two, but again, it's a matter of just, if you have a good product and again, our administration here, Jim Schaus and Dr. McDavis are as good as it gets. That was the real main reasons why, I decided to come back. So I think if you have a good product, people at least give you a look, and that's what we're hoping for.
Part of Jim's background was at Western Kentucky, where he worked with Tom Crean. He's doing pretty well this year at Indiana. I know it was up against him, too. They're not that patient there in Bloomington.
No, he did it the right way. I mean, he took a huge chance, and I think he's paying dividends for it now. He kind of, rebuilt it from the ground, and that's not an easy thing to do with the fan base that they have and the expectations that they have. But he stayed true to kind of what he believes in, and now all of a sudden people see why and how he did it with the number one team in the nation and the quality of kids he has. And now what happens is they just keep getting more and more similar type kids, and I think that's a credit to him and his vision and his fortitude to stick with that. A lot of people wouldn't have done it that particular way, but that's what makes Tom special.
Well, it's special to have you back in the MAC conference at Ohio, and we're going to be televising your game tomorrow night against Buffalo. We'll take particular delight in doing that, as well as having you back in our neck of the woods, so to speak, Jim. Thanks so much for joining us, and best of luck to you now that you're back at the MAC at Ohio University.
Well, thank you very much. Anytime, I'd love to be on. This is a great show.
Thank you very much, Jim. We'll be back to wrap things up in just a moment.